Here at the Sports Dynasty podcast, Juan and I try our best to give you excellent content and the best in the world we can do. We are winners here at the Sports Dynasty podcast. I can't say the same thing about other people in Green Bay, but we'll get to that in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trevor. This is Juan, and welcome to the Sports Dynasty podcast. All right, we're here.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell we said. Oh, well, I'll deal with it when I deal with it. See, that's going to be messing up. See, we're going to do the round table in about 20 minutes, and then as soon as somebody got to be putting background noise, I don't need it. It is what it is. Whatever. It is not a Sports Dynasty podcast without something stupid happening in the background. Well, anyway, we had two very important games on Sunday.
Yes. Conference Championship Sunday. The Final Four of the NFL. The winner goes to Super Bowl 54.
Does anyone ever call it that? The Final Four?
No, actually, NCAA would tell
the other two said, nope, they shook their
NCAA would say, nah, that's ours. You can't touch it.
Damn near copyright, right?
Damn right, you copyright. But anyway, it was great games. The first game was the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium taking on the Tennessee Titans, where Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs won 35-17.
All you had to see was the first half, and you were good.
The first half, it was literally a tale of two halves. Titans dominated the first half. Derrick Henry was running like crazy.
They dominated the first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
That's what they only do because they took the lead before halftime. So all you see was the first half, and you're good. You didn't see anything else. And what sucks about that is that Tennessee actually played a pretty good quarter and a half. But then when you play too conservative on the offensive side, doing run, screen, run, screen, run, short pass, run, screen, and then you're playing against, a guy who is, the best player in football, that getting up that lead pretty much, is inevitable.
And a team that can score at will. Like, there's no way. Like, I was pretty cool. They were 17-7 when they scored. We'll get to the gameplay in a second, but they played way too conservative heading into the first half, and the second half they just couldn't recover from it. It was like Patrick Mahomes literally had his way, like bombs. Like, and my question was, why did they keep on playing man on Tyreek Hill the whole game? Like, I didn't get it. Like, he's too fast. He's blown by everybody. It's like, it made it look too easy right there. But Derrick Henry in the second half, honestly, just couldn't get it going. After a great first half, like, he couldn't do it again after that. So, I don't know. It was a great game. It was a good game if you like high-scoring games. So, it's the first time the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl in 50 years. And, it's what it is.
So, they blew a 17-7 lead. They were up 17-7 in the middle of the second quarter.
Correct.
So, what happened? Well, first of all, the Tennessee Titans didn't feel like rushing Mahomes at all, which is completely retarded. When you're playing against a good quarterback, the number one thing that you have to do is rush the passer. If you don't rush the passer, especially an elite passer, he will obliterate you like if it's his backyard. And that's exactly what you saw for 2 quarters and a half. So, that was stupid. They had a lot of fat guys rushing, so you already know that's not going to work. And I believe Mitchell Schwartz is probably like the best lineman in the playoffs right now because he locked up mad people. He's locked up J.J. Watt, like if they're playing football in their backyard and everything. So he apparently also locked up every single lineman that played for the Tennessee Titans. So that is not how you beat an elite quarterback. What they used to say about Tom Brady and Breeze and Rivers and Manning and all the guys back then is that you rush them, right? So that's what you do to everyone. I understand a guy can run. But if you let him stand there, that's even worse. I'd rather you give up. I'd rather give up a 5-yard scramble than a 60-yard pass. Do you think that would be common sense? Derrick Henry got completely locked up for once. So everything that I said needed to happen, and everything I said that was going to happen in the last episode, happened to the T. I said that the defense of the Tennessee Titans are not personnel-wise good enough to match up with Cojones and company. It is not possible. Their corners are not that good. They have one good corner and a couple okay corners. That's not good against Travis Kelce. That's not good against track stars. That's not good against how you don't have it. Linebackers are not good enough to cover any of the tight ends or running backs off the backfield. Again, this is a fast team. You guys have a lot of big, slow people, and you're not schemed well enough. That's not a good matchup. There you go. You saw it right then and there. Now, for Henry, I said Tannehill needed to be Tannehill the regular season for them to even have a chance to win. Again, since you play conservative and didn't let Tannehill throw downfield, you see what happened. But when y'all want to start doing it, it was already too damn late. Cojones was already fucking Human Torch. It was too late. You already screwed that up. So that's boo-boo on Vrabel. Definitely. Chiefs, all they did was stack the box. Like Frank Clark was wrapping his mouth the entire weekend, and then, hey, all they did was stack the box, and they caught Derrick Henry. He couldn't break any tackles because there was too many people swarming him. Again, if you were throwing the football downfield, then maybe they wouldn't have been stacking the box as much. But it is what it is. What else happened? My favorite part, the part that almost had me punching a hole in the wall was that scramble touchdown.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
That was what ended the game right there. That was it.
I was to say that I seen it. This game is over. Like, you literally just gave the momentum right back to them. The crowd was behind them. It was like, yo, the tackling was horrendous. I'm like, yo, let's get the hell off the field. Horrendous. Like, 5 people couldn't tackle him. Like, it was
a quarterback.
Like,
that's not Lamar Jackson. If it was Lamar Jackson, we understand. We seen him do some crazy ish. All right, whatever. But dog, I understand he's athletic, but he's not Russell Wilson athletic. He's not Lamar Jackson athletic. Like, you can't push him. You can't throw him out of bounds. One of the dudes had him right there out of bounds, and he didn't push him. Like, hello? I almost obliterated my cousin's living room because that had me so pissed on the stupidity that I saw against a pretty, I would say, disciplined group in Mike Vrabel. Like, how did they let that happen? I don't know. But that is what ended the game. Everybody knew at that moment the game was over, and that was it. All right, so one more thing before we move on to the next game. Well, this is going to be a really short episode. Yeah. It hasn't been 10 minutes yet. Nice. All right. I have to give credit where credit's due and not to shout out the Kansas City Chiefs. I've been down on them all year because I really thought, and I'm not that off from them, but still, I didn't like the whole overall aspect of how their team was built. But hey, they go into the big game.
Yeah.
So they did what they had to do. The biggest reason why all that's happening, the defense did step up a bit. I'm still not entirely convinced that they're a good unit, but they stepped up enough. And the biggest factor as to why they're good is because Mr. Cojones is healthy. Now that he's healthy, Madden curse probably went away. He's dicing everybody up again like he was a year ago. There you go.
It says a lot about this team too, because when Patrick Mahomes went down early in the year and then Matt Moore was in the starting lineup for like 3 games, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought it was over. I said, yeah, there's no way they can recover from this. But Matt Moore did a really good job in his absence. At least go 2-1 and not find ways to mess it up. He did. Almost. But didn't he beat Green Bay? No, almost beat them. Almost. So that says a lot about them. They're a very resilient group. So,
yeah, they showed their toughness. I respect them a lot for that. I have to give them credit where credit's due and give them a shout out. I was 100% wrong about them.
And Andy Reid, to his credit, give him credit too. Like, even though when I was watching the first half of the game when it was down 17-7, I was saying that I hope he doesn't try too hard to try to that's not a word for it. I can't have a word for it. But he tried to go overboard with the offense. All right, we gotta throw the pass crazy. But and also did a really good job blocking for him too. So a lot of times he was literally in the pocket all day. Like,
they didn't rush though.
They couldn't rush him. It was like they couldn't do anything. But
they rushed 3 almost the whole game.
I give him credit where credit is due. Mike Vrabel for the Titans. No one expected you to make it this far. So the fact that you made it to the AFC Championship game is really good to build on next year.
And then beat a dynasty and then beat a fake upcoming dynasty when they actually suck. But hey, I love you for that. I love you for that. A lot.
Even though in the beginning of the year I said the Titans don't win the division, I did say in the beginning of the year I thought the Titans going to be a problem this year. I did say that. You can go back.
You did. No, I'm gonna do a whole review episode.
I said that. Yeah. But I'll take my hat off to myself for that. Thank you. But
even though you left them,
even though I didn't leave them, I leave them when Mariota was.
I'd give you that excuse.
But they all have nothing else to build on. They continue to build on it. And then there'll be a problem next year.
They got some work to do, actually. Because that main reason why they're decent, he's a free agent. And I'm not talking about Derrick Henry. I'm talking about Ryan Tannehill. They don't have a quarterback.
And Mariota's a free agent.
Who cares about that? That's the one. So they need to get a quarterback in order to continue that success. And Derrick Henry is a free agent, too, by the way. So they have work to do to try to maintain what they achieved this year.
After this playoff, these last 5-6 weeks, he gonna want his money, and rightfully so.
That's what I'm saying. So they got work to do, but at least Titan fans could rest easy that they probably already found their coach of the future.
Yeah. He's
So
not going anywhere.
At least they got something there.
He's not going anywhere.
All right, the next game.
Before we get started, I'm really gonna have you just take over.
No. This is the last thing I'm gonna do.
Oh, last week. Okay.
I'm saving it for last.
Okay,
baby.
so we're gonna talk about the game.
We're going through the game first. There's not much to talk about. It was an ass opening from start.
Raheem, Mr. Radio Raheem,
He said Radio Ray, I'm dead.
literally ran the ball literally by himself the entire game and just completely manhandled. And
did you ever hear what happened with Tevin Coleman? Did they say an update?
they didn't say anything about him yet. No.
Maybe that's good.
Maybe that's good.
Oh.
He should be fine. It shouldn't be that serious. We had at least 2 weeks to recover from it, so it shouldn't be too bad. But Radio Raheem literally beat the Green Bay Packers by himself. 4 touchdowns, over 280-something yards. He was just a beast. Just completely just annihilated them.
Yeah, he took Derrick Henry's crown and put it on.
He did.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to watch.
Lubed up that Packer defense and completely just...
I don't think there was lube.
Oh, damn. I was being nice.
There was nothing to be nice about. He had 160 yards at halftime. There was no lube involved at all. It was a complete utter ass whooping.
That's saying something.
It's the truth.
God damn it. That's basically the story.
You don't have to say anything. There's not much to say in this game.
Yeah. So they go into the Super Bowl to place the Chiefs. This is their first Super Bowl appearance since 2012. Jimmy G literally only threw 8 times.
That's all he needed to do.
That's it. 8 times. That's literally an entire game on Madden with like 2-minute quarters. That's literally all he needed. And he ran the ball the entire time. It's terrible. It's not terrible. Well, congratulations to them. Not much to say about that.
Yeah, so there was nothing Green Bay can possibly do. I think everybody knew in the back of their minds, even the ones that were rooting for Green Bay, knew that this was by and far the worst matchup that Green Bay could have ran into in the entire NFC playoffs was this team. Their weakness was run defense, but it was to the point where if they were ranked first, it felt like it didn't matter. They just got outmanned. Like, they found someone who could just literally take them one-on-one to fight. Like what happened to that cowboy dude, whatever his name is, that happened when he got asked about McGregor. That's what we saw. Like, every lineman, the offensive lineman in San Francisco just beat the ever-loving hell out of every defensive lineman and linebacker in Green Bay. It was just literally, I outman you, what you gonna do about it, bitch. That's what you saw in the trenches.
Honestly speaking, I think Green Bay, well, I may not be a little over-exaggeration, but maybe it'll be up there. Probably one of the worst teams to get a first-round bye and perform like this. Because let's be honest, they only got the number 2 seed because of everything that happened in Week 17. Let's be honest, if Dalvin Cook was playing in that game in Week 16 against the Vikings, they would have steamrolled them because they can't start run to save their lives.
Well, that may be true about the bye part because they went 13-3, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least they made it this far. So in order for you to get this far, you have to win a playoff game. Then again, we haven't researched this. You might do it for next episode, but we haven't researched this. But maybe there are other teams that's won as many games or 12 games or whatever and got their ass whooped and went one and done before. You know what I'm saying? You know, like one of Aaron Rodgers' teams in the past.
Yeah, 15-1, 2001.
Aha! So as I'm saying, so at least this Green Bay team won a playoff game.
It wasn't really convincing though.
It wasn't convincing, but they won. Unlike that team, who was first seed, who only lost 1 game. And they were one of the best offenses you ever seen. And they got obliterated. I am transitioning little by little.
Yes. I can't wait, actually. I'm actually going to look forward to this.
But, yeah. So, I don't know if they were the worst. Because I guess people forgot about that 15-1 team. Who, I think most people probably knew they were trash in the beginning. It's probably why they're trying to compare it. Because everybody knew that defense was like the worst in the league that year.
I'm not going to lie to you because
that's probably why.
I wasn't sold on Green Bay at all this year at all. I was not sold on them.
They know.
I was saying that they were really a 10-6, 9-7 team posing as a 13-3 team. Because it's like, yo, it's like a lot of time it's like a lot of the games they play. I'm like, yo, like this is.
They don't look that
like
good.
Week 17. Week 17, you almost lost to Detroit.
They never. It was like they never played a complete game all season.
I agree.
That was the reason. I'm like, either you guys will take a half off, or the offense will show up at all, or the defense will show up at all. They never had that complete game like almost every other top team had. Even the Patriots had a game like that, even though they sucked. But they had a game, that Buffalo game in Week 16, right?
Yeah.
That was maybe there's a shot. Green Bay never had a game like that all season. So it's like, we've been at this, even though I did say they're going to make the NFC Championship game anyway. I just knew it. But I've always been like this at them. People can't see it, but I'm waving my finger. Like that, I never bought into them either like that.
Well, even though... what was that? The Packers, that was like the third conference championship game in the last 10 years. It has to be a common denominator why they keep on, falling short. Isn't this a common denominator, sir?
There is.
Was that right?
There is, but hold on one second. Let me say a couple of other things before we get to that. They're just waiting for it. All right. So to complicate San Francisco a little bit more, because I'm hearing a lot about Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's a small topic I didn't tell you about that I want to talk about too. He didn't have to throw. That was the reason why this happened. He made one throw that he needed to make, and that was to George Kittle in the fourth quarter because Green Bay was starting to rally a little tiny bit. So he made a nice George Kittle pass, and that ended the game basically. That was about mid in the fourth quarter when they were down about 14. So he didn't have to do it. So whoever's bashing Jimmy, you need to chill out. He didn't have to do it. He's actually played pretty good in December, getting into the playoffs, which is always good for a quarterback to get into the playoffs with your arm ready to go. So there, and that pass rush, now that it's healthy, D Ford is back, everybody's back in that defensive front. Jesus Christ, good luck, Mahomes. That's good. That's gonna be such a fun game. I can't wait.
God bless D Ford, man. Last year, completely fucked up the Chiefs last year, and now he's going back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, I don't understand what that Green Bay center with Corey Linsley was doing when he fumbled the snap into his own butthole. I really don't know what that's supposed to be. People say it was Aaron Rodgers. I didn't see that. I thought it was on the center, but maybe I'm stupid. The all 22 didn't come out yet for some reason in that game, so I can't tell. I don't know, but it looked like it was on the center to me. But whatever. That interception in I think the second quarter, that was pretty horrific too. Yeah, he didn't help. Plus, he was also holding the ball 55 years against the best pass rush in the NFL. Yeah, yes. It might be time, isn't it?
Well, State Farm, I heard, is very reliable, but I know someone who's not reliable.
Yeah, ironically, he is the poster boy of State Farm. Very interesting. So, that quarterback is 8-7 all time in the playoffs since 2009. Yeah, that's when he first made the playoffs, 2009. 4 of those wins came in 1 year, in 2010. So, he's actually, after 2010, he's actually 4-6. Did you know that? 4-6.
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised, huh? So he went one and done in that year that I was making fun of him about 5 minutes ago.
2011.
Yeah, he went one and done. Got beaten up by he did lose to the eventual Super Bowl champions, but that was a 9-7 team that barely got into the playoffs, and you were 15-1 with number one offense in the NFL, number scoring offense in the NFL, and you got 4 turnovers as a team and only scored 20 points. Yeah, that's great. The next year, in 2012, they went 1-1. They beat a Vikings team with the MVP was a running back and their quarterback was a wide receiver.
Yeah, Joe Webb.
Yeah, they didn't play Christian Ponder. They played a wide receiver at quarterback. So they beat them easily. Then they played a real football team and got blown the fuck out. But if you guys didn't know, because this is back a long time ago, so everybody don't remember this. The game was actually tied 24 all with about 10 minutes left to go in third. Then he didn't really score again. They allowed 45 points. Huh. Interesting. Scored that last touchdown in garbage time because the score was 45-31. Huh. In the second quarter, he threw a pretty bad interception that set up San Francisco to tie the game, and then he got his ass up after that. It's funny. The next year, he was injured for half the season in 2013, but he played against 49ers again. It was actually a pretty good game. He only lost by 3 points, but when you go 27% on third down and didn't even pass 200 yards, yeah, I don't know whose fault that is, right? It's not his fault or anything, right?
They blame Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, when, again, 27% on third down and you didn't even pass for 200 yards.
They probably say the play call is horrendous. I'm just acting like one of those Packer faithful fans.
No, it's because he didn't have Calvin Johnson in his team either. You know, he didn't have Brandon Marshall. He didn't have Wes Welker. He didn't have every receiver to help him do something. That's what it is. You know, that's the same bullshit we've been hearing since 2011, that he doesn't have any help. Because Jordy Nelson and shit.
Yeah, he was
Jermichael Finley isn't shit.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? He was like that and shit. Randall Cobb isn't shit.
Yep.
You know, just before he was injured a lot. So he's actually pretty good. But no, not to them. He needed Calvin Johnson. He needed Brandon Marshall. He needed Alshon Jeffrey. He needed all those. He needed Matt Forte. You know what I'm saying? He needed the Dallas offensive line from 1999. Like, he needed all that.
Goddamn.
Yeah, that's what he needed, right? And then I already talked about 2014 like numerous times.
Yes, the choke job in the conference championship game against Seattle.
Yeah, we know when he probably shouldn't even got there to begin with because the referee messed up. A touchdown by Des Bryant, but whatever.
Yeah,
that happened. But he did have like 2 minutes left to go, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. For all we know, because as we know, he likes to beat up on Dallas, so he probably would have got the touchdown anyway and beat them. So whatever. Right, and then the next year in 2015, he beat Kirk Cousins in playoffs. Whoop-de-doo. And apparently Drew Brees can't do it, but whoop-de-doo. And then, you know, he went against Carson Palmer, who tried to give him the game. And instead, he only put up 20 points again. That's, I think, the third time in his playoff tenure, 20 points. And lost in overtime. It took two Hail Marys for him to even force overtime to begin with. So he actually played like shit, but whatever. 2016, I do not fault him because he literally played by himself, and that was when he got 5% respect from me. He actually played by himself and actually got to Atlanta by himself. And then when he went against that juggernaut that took Tom Brady an extra 5 minutes in the quarter to beat, yeah, I got you. And then you missed the playoffs 2 years in a row because you suck. And then this year happened.
Hold on, did he tank one of the years?
2017, he was injured.
He was injured.
He came back because they actually had a shot to make the playoffs, and
so
then
he tanked the
Carolina
whole year.
beat shit out of him.
He tanked the whole year, and then they ended up getting fired. They ended up firing.
That was the next year.
Yeah, they ended up firing Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Yeah. So that's Aaron Rodgers' playoff history since 2011.
Okay.
The common denominator is that he doesn't know how to score. If you haven't noticed the entire time, if you look at all his games, he scored only 20 points against that bum ass New York Giants defense. Then again, Tom Brady will score 17. That's true. I understand that. But when you go up against someone who you're matched up well against, because earlier in that season, Tom Brady also lost the same exact way to the New York Giants. 4 years before that, he lost the same exact way. So when you play someone that you don't match up well against, that's what happens. So understand that. Plus, at least Tom Brady wasn't the number one offense. They didn't go 15-1. Just saying. He only put up 24 for most of the game against San Francisco 49ers. Again, that was a good San Francisco 49ers team. However, if you had him tied 24 all at the third quarter, why did you put him on points? If you put 24 already, what the fuck stopped you? So that stopped it there. And he only also put up 24 against that bum-ass Vikings team with no quarterback also, when he probably should put up 50. Then you put up just 20 again against San Francisco next year when you only lost by 3. You put up 19 against that Seattle team with a broken armed corner and a broken shoulder safety, and you still only put up 19 and then forced overtime with that field goal to put up 22. But, you know, when your defense gets you 4 turnovers and you put up 19, that's not your fault, right? Okay, cool. Then you only put up 20. You see the common denominator, he can't get past anywhere near like 25 for some reason. But it's not his fault. So what I've heard all week was it's not his fault. He had to play hero ball. Did you see any of that?
No.
No, right?
I don't.
You didn't see that. So then what the fuck are they talking about? They're gonna continue. This is why I hate him. You see this bullshit, right? He gets no help. He's by himself. He has no receivers.
There's a narrative that says that Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback. Him and Drew Brees are elite quarterbacks. The difference between those two is Drew Brees breaks records every year. What does Aaron Rodgers really do in a year? What does he really do? He doesn't do anything. He'll put up decent amount of numbers, get a decent number of wins, go to the playoffs, be one and done, or one playoff game, and that's it. Other than that, he doesn't do anything. So it used to kill me when they used to say, "Oh, that Rodgers is better than Brady." And I'm like, I don't know how. What are you looking at? Like, yeah, he's talent-wise, he's a great talent we've seen, but I don't want him.
Who gives a rat's ass about talent when you do nothing with it?
I agree.
That's was the point that always blew up my mind for years. He's the most talented quarterback. You just want to give him a title because you don't directly want to say he's the best, right? Because what the fuck does it matter if you are this talented and you can make all these wonderful throws and do all these numbers if you get your ass whooped when it matters? Not that you lose. You get your ass whooped, because that is the common denominator in all of these losses, is that you underperform and you, not the rest of the team for the most part, you get your ass whooped. You look like shit. You look like a bottom 15 quarterback. You are the one that underperforms every single motherfucking year, every time, and no one seems to get the big picture. No one. And this is the reason why I always said, and will continue, and why I was so delighted to see on Sunday night that he is not the best Green Bay quarterback of all time. Brett Favre has done more than you, and you're supposed to be better. And talent-wise, you are. You're more efficient than he is. But again, what's efficiency? What did it help you on Sunday? When you're scared to make any real throws, what happened? What happened there? You need to make plays. When you're down 27-0 in halftime, what's the point of that efficiency? What's the point? Where is it? You're not trying to make any plays. You're not trying to do anything. Where was it? Again, you look like a bitch. You didn't even throw for 100 yards in the first half. I don't even think you threw for 90. I think you hit 80, I think. You only threw 11 times. Dude, you don't see the points racking up? Where is your downfield throws? Yeah, you hit your little 60-yard throw, when you're already down fucking everything. When you beat Sherman one time, why didn't you beat Sherman before? Where was it? Why didn't you go with Devontae Adams earlier? Where was it? It was too late. It was too late. So, again, the most overrated fucking football player I've ever seen, and he's still getting the same excuses as he was getting 8 years ago. It's amazing to me. Versus a guy who plays just like you in Kansas City is starting to get it done. You piece of fucking trash. Yeah. I love it.
The only thing he has is a great touchdown to interception ratio. Like that.
Yeah, and to me, that's not credible. Who cares? That means you play like a bitch. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that it's all time great. It means you play like a bitch. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Fucking diva. That's exactly what it is.
Listen, he can take his one ring, and that's what you're going
to stay. His very, very rusty ring. You can go ahead and take that.
You and Drew Brees can stay there with your one rings and call it a day.
While the guys who actually try to make plays keep winning. Let's see cojones and win some. Let me see.
It says a lot when Eli has more rings than you. So, yeah. So, there you go. Besides that...
Because he don't play like a bitch. That's why. He
tries. At least he tries. He gets it done, though.
He tries.
So, I have to give him credit for that. But...
All right, one more thing before we continue. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to save that for Patriot Place. That's more of a Patriot question anyway. Yeah, forget about it. Yeah, that's on the show.
Besides that, we appreciate you all. We just like, share, subscribe. We are on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Radio, Spotify Radio, whatever, Stitcher Radio, whatever crap. You already know what time it is. I appreciate everybody listening to our Square Circle review. People actually really liked it a lot. I got a lot of good reviews from it.
I don't even advertise though. Good shit, guys.
I advertised this morning, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." So keep it up. We have more content coming for y'all soon.
I didn't know yet. We had a lot of closet WWE fans.
We do, especially in New York.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So other than that, we love you guys. Peace, love, and applesauce.
Y'all leave that there. Peace out.